Perhaps the most famous account is this one of several New York firefighters describing what they saw down there.
You'd get down below and you'd see molten steel. Molten steel running down the channel rails. Like you're in a foundry.
Yeah. Like lava.
Like lava.
When I first saw this video, I was actually very surprised to learn that Robert De Niro moonlights as a firefighter. Perhaps the most famous account is this one of several New York firefighters describing what they saw down there.
You'd get down below and you'd see molten steel. Molten steel running down the channel rails. Like you're in a foundry.
Yeah. Like lava.
Like lava.
When I first saw this video, I was actually very surprised to learn that Robert De Niro moonlights as a firefighter.
Now, our next performer is originally from Montreal. Of course, she knew she had to leave this godforsaken place to become successful, which she did, gathering numerous recurring roles on television and her very own talk show. Please welcome the very funny Caroline Rhea.
Tell you what he said. Okay, Kathleen, take it for me from the beginning, Kathleen. What did you see? What did you hear?
I heard a plane, low, and I looked out the window, and then I saw something push the building in, and then I saw the tail, and then I saw flames engulf the whole upper portion, and then I saw the smoke, and the whole trailer rocked. The trailer was almost lifted.
The plane you saw.
The tail.
All right.
I saw a silver flash and the flames, and I saw a pointy tail. That's how I knew it was a plane. Because it went in. If it was a bomb, it would have gone out, and it went in. And everything was pushed in. Because it went in. If it was a bomb, it would have gone out, and it went in.
Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good.
2 days after the attack on September 13th, Dan Rather was interviewing a man named Tom Kenny, K-E-N-N-E-Y, who was a FEMA employee. Now this is 2 days, this is the 13th. And Dan Rather says to him, and this fellow works for FEMA, and he's been, of course, there working in the ruins. And he said, well, when did you get into town? And Kenny said, oh, we flew in Monday evening, and we deployed Tuesday morning. Dan Rather didn't bother to say, why did they fly in the night before the attack? And we actually got that film clip.
To be honest with you, we arrived on late Monday night and went into action on Tuesday morning.
Joining us now is Pete Bicarsi, a rescue worker with the National Urban Search and Rescue. It's part of FEMA, the Federal Disaster Relief Agency. He's from Denver, but he's among those digging deep here in New York City. We also have Tom Kenny from the Urban Search and Rescue Team.
To be honest with you, we arrived on late Monday night and went into action on Tuesday morning. And not until today did we get a full opportunity to work the entire site other than the spot at Church and Day to which we were deployed. Normally task force members are deployed for 2 weeks, but my best guess is that this is going to take months before that whole area is cleared and the last person is taken out.
Tom Kenny, thank you very much for taking time out from your work. Good luck. Take care of yourself out there.
Thank you.
June 1st and 2nd, 2001. Amalgam Virgo, U.S. military war game with Canadian intelligence. This is the dry run in the summer before 9/11 to show off and test the anti-hijack system being sold to the United States. Amalgam Virgo 01 was an air defense exercise created intellectually in Canada and foisted upon the U.S. Air Force and Department of Defense. It presumed that Osama bin Laden may use drones and cruise missiles to attack high-value targets in the United States of America, and it suggested that F-15s and F-16s from the U.S. Air Force would be the counters to those types of attacks. Slide 2 shows NORAD, which is North American Air Defense Fighters, and their exercise charter. Most of it's pretty standard, but what caught my attention on this page is that perceived is in big letters and a different color than the rest of it. And I think it's the intention of the three-card Monte operators behind Amalgam Virgo to put in our minds that the threats are Osama bin Laden, cruise missiles, and drones. The Canadian intelligence folks that put together this confusing exercise, Amalgam Virgo, intentionally inserted a gray area here. The gray area that was intentionally created in the planning for Amalgam Virgo would be used with great effect on the later Global Guardian of 9/11. It always introduced questions as to who is responsible for what and who is in charge of putting the response into motion. Designers, the perpetrators of 9/11, intentionally made it very easy for people to be confused, and this slide in front of you shows the confusion. There's multiple poor choices made, and no one is going to be responsible because the responsibility will be distributed across a lot of bad choices, and there will be nobody in charge. During the Amalgam Virgo war game of June 1 and 2 of 2001, the routine called for all of U.S. airspace to come completely under the command of the former attacking Red Team. That is to say, Canadian intelligence and their Air Force, here shown as a CF-18. For 24 hours, the Canadian attackers would suddenly switch sides, and the U.S. Air Force would completely stand down and surrender protection of the U.S. to NATO and the Canadian air teams and their anti-hijacking teams and their anti-hijacking formula. This scenario was replayed again with even greater complication and confusion during the multiple war games in play on the morning of 9/11, again with Canadian forces and NATO alone in controlling skies over America during the Global Guardian war games of September 11th. It is known that on the morning of 9/11, as many as 20 independent war game scenarios were being played out, with the U.S. Air Force grounded during the Canadian Blue Air time. It was during this time that the Twin Towers were struck, the Pentagon was struck, and there was an attempt to fly a plane into the Capitol, aborted over the skies of Pennsylvania as Flight 93 was vaporized into nothingness that morning.
9/11 occurred coincidentally, exactly 11 years to the day from the September 11th, 1990 speech by President George Herbert Walker Bush describing a coming New World Order.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
In which an elite international banking organization will utilize America's preeminent military power to spread Western values to create a supranational order and governance of all nations by a new United Nations. 9/11 occurred coincidentally, exactly 11 years to the day from the September 11th, 1990 speech by President George Herbert Walker Bush describing a coming New World Order.
It did not end here. It ended in an episode so unpredictable, so shocking, it made the horror which preceded it seem calm and gentle as a summer's night.
Really did it. You maniac! You blew it up! Oh, damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Evacuate the building.
Louis was a firefighter of some 20 years' experience. On the day of the attack, he raced into the first tower and helped evacuate panicked workers inside.
Keep walking. Take it easy, breathe slow. Normal, breathe normal.
Sergeant Churchill on here. Sergeant Churchill on here.
And he's out of control. He's back. The man behind the mask. And he crawled out of his hole.
They said that there were real demons that they saw in that smoke, and it terrified them, and they started to break and they started to run. They saw destruction, fire, flames, and death. No airplanes, no crashes, but the faces of these demons. They saw what they would call as UFOs, and then explosions, and then these demonic faces appearing in the smoke and the flames. And what these demons are doing is that they are materializing themselves in the element, because they are feeding on the death and the fear and the blood that they have generated. And if you take a very good look at this, this is more of that. What the government did is that they knew the fallen angels were going to hit these buildings, because you will come to find out that there's no evidence of an airplane, there's no airplane debris, there's no black boxes, and there's no victims. All you have are demons in the smoke, fire, blood, and death, fear, deception, and confusion from a world that has completely turned on Jesus Christ because they're too busy worshiping the very thing that's attacking and destroying them. And so you got to start wrapping your mind around that. You got to start getting your mind around the fact that you are being attacked by living spiritual entities. That's what the Bible calls it. The Bible calls them fallen angels. And from the beginning, they have been at war with the souls of the human race. Jesus called Satan a murderer from the beginning. He said that from the beginning this guy was aimed at killing the human race, and he is not above doing the actual killing himself. When he kills the human race, he does it in a very deceitful way, and he does it so deceitfully that you will honestly think that other people are responsible for his own actions. He's that clever. He's smart. He works with the rulers to get the rulers to work against their own citizens so they can plan attacks like this, so you can go ahead and send thousands and thousands of troops to another country to kill, to destroy, to rape, and pillage another people who did not attack you. And that's what you got to wrap your head around that. When these people were supporting U.S. military actions in Iraq, what were they supporting? They never attacked us. What were they really talking about? They're talking about killing other people that had nothing to do with it. They were responsible for what happened that day. The fallen angels were responsible for what happened that day. We should have been attacking them in that text and understanding. I don't agree in attacking anybody, but I think you get my point. The measure you use is used against you. And these fallen angels, take a very good look. These beings were once very beautiful, gorgeous. They used to hold high places in heaven. They fell from heaven due to their pride, due to their deceit, due to their sin. And that's the same thing that's happening to Americans and people around the world. They're falling due to their pride, due to their deceit, due to their lack of faith. And because of that, these angels who fell first, and know that is a fact, that when you rebel against God, Jesus Christ, you allow them to destroy you. And that's exactly what they did. And this is real. And you got to wrap your mind around that. You got to wrap your mind around the fact these are real demons blowing you up and killing you and laughing about it and appearing in the smoke and being very, very happy about the fact they have destroyed us and hit us. All the evidence points to a spiritual attack. It does not point to the media's cracked out version of what happened. We're going to now start to wrap this up, and we want to make everything very, very clear. You were attacked by fallen angels. These fallen angels are real. They appeared in the smoke. They appeared in the flames. They fed off the blood of human beings.
Oh my God, there it goes!